All right. How you doing, folks? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for a Sunday. It's August 22nd. Hopefully you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by BullpenPicks.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join. You want to follow the top pickers each and every day right here at BullpenPicks.com. And also, the World Series of Handicapping Pro Football Contest season number 10 is underway. And folks, anybody can join the contest at WorldSeriesOfHandicapping.com. And it's a $25 entry. All you got to do is sign up, make 7 picks each and every week. And then once you make those selections, rate those selections 1 to 7 units. And then the winner at the end of the contest will win the contest, the ring, and $1,500 in cash, courtesy of the World Series of Handicapping.com. All right, also at bullpenpicks.com, let's take a look at our top scorers right now. And Gas House Gang, Patrick Klein is still the leader, and he's got an interesting strategy. So what you see here, 63%, is basically his percentage play of units to 51 to 54%. He's 59 and 35. He's 2-0 with his percentages of 55 to 62, 63 to 72%, 2-0, and 73 to 100. He's a perfect 2-0 in those situations. So 55 to 100%, 6-0, but hitting 63% of his lower unit rank picks. And you want to make sure you have him followed on your bullpenpicks.com. There's Musk at 831 in second place, and Nicola Batista and Nicky Bats right there at 817. And those are your top players right now at bullpenpicks.com. And if you're a baseball fan, and you should be on Bullpen Picks if you are serious about sports betting and you want to follow some of the top pickers, or if you are one of the top baseball pickers, why not put your picks and share your selections with the rest of the community right here at bullpenpicks.com. All right, good morning, Ed. How you doing? There's Eddie O from Montreal. Effective Instance, morning all. There's Sniper. Hello, everyone. So how's everybody so far? There's Ball Cash, Sunday Fun Day. Let's go, Sunday Fun Day. Let's go get that cash day, right, Ball Cash? And again, welcome to the Raymond Report. My name is Ron Raymond. I'm a 5-time sports handicapping champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. I'm the founder of the World Series of Handicapping.com website, going into his 10th season, like I just mentioned. And I'm also the author of Ron Raymond's Top 50 Sports Betting Secrets, which is also listed on Amazon.com or .ca or wherever you go to Amazon. All right, we got a good show planned here for you today. I'm going to take a look at some of the favorites in the month of August. And the reason I say that, because it seems like every day I come on this show, and all I do is talk about the favorites in baseball, how they just keep winning. In fact, let's go to the SBI, and then I'll get to the horse racing pick for today. And today's horse racing pick will be from Gulfstream Park. But the SBI, oh man, I'm telling you, the favorites in baseball right now, if you're not following baseball and you're not betting baseball, well, I think you're doing it wrong, right? Look at yesterday, 12-3 for the favorites betting baseball on August 21st, 9-6 on Friday, 7-3. The last time the underdogs took the day was August 3rd, and if you look at the 7-day average in baseball, 65.1% of the favorites are winning the last 7 days. And I think if you go back to August 1st, it's something like 66 or 67% of the favorites have cashed in. I'll show you guys that in just 1 second. And look at this on the 7-day average for over-unders. The under now having a bit of a run. 7-6 and 2 yesterday favoring the other. So 6 overs, 7 unders, 2 pushes. And on Friday night it was 5-10-0. But yeah, pretty good run right now betting favorites and unders. And let me go to my database and let's go look at the favorites since August 1st betting Major League Baseball. So we're going to go to our database and we're going to go back to August 1st. And let's go to August 21st right here. Yesterday's last results of the ball games. And you can see right here, look at that. 66.3% of the favorites have cashed in. The unders are having a bit of a run right now, 53%. The last 7, since August 1st. But one thing I did notice when I was looking at this chart here this morning is that if you look at, you want to bet favorites, but who are the ones you can trust? Who are the favorites that you can trust right now in the month of August? And the New York Yankees, 15-3. I think there's only 2 teams. I think it's Philadelphia and San Diego. Teams with winning records are the only teams you really can't trust. There's Toronto, 11-9. And 11-9 is it's okay, but it's not like 15-3 I said here for the Yankees. Yankees hottest team in baseball right now, along with the Dodgers. Tampa Bay 11-4, big win for the Rays yesterday over the White Sox. There's the White Sox 9-7, only 9-7 as a favorite in the month of August. And you can see right here, Seattle only been a favorite, 7 times, even though they have a winning record. Only been a favorite 7 times in the month of August. Houston, 8-7 in the month of August. Atlanta, there's another hot team right there. The Braves, 14-3. And if you are betting Atlanta, the value on Atlanta has been pretty decent, right? So it's not like 200, 300. If you call 180 decent, right, or whatever, what do they say, 152. So pretty good, but they're going up against John Means. There's Philadelphia, 7-5. Again, not a great, but I think what I did earlier is I did the Philadelphia Phillies since August 4th, and I think it was a losing record. So the couple of those days must have been, see, look at the first 3 days were winning days. Look at the first 4 days. Take away the first 4 days of August for Philadelphia, and that's a losing record right there as a favorite. And again, perception versus reality, right? You get this feel for some of these baseball teams that are going on right now, and you get a good feeling on if when they're a favorite or an underdog. Milwaukee 12-6 as a favorite. San Francisco 12-4. Dodgers 15-3. Colorado 8-1 as a favorite. And I do have a great system I'm going to share with you guys here today on Colorado. You have to early bird gets the worm, as they say, right? So if you got up early and you got Colorado at a very nice price. I think they opened up at 145 at 5 dimes, and they are now at 177, something like that, a bookmaker. So early bird does get the worm. And there's Isaiah. Good morning, Isaiah. There's Peyton, Sports Girl. Great Sunday, everyone. I joined the bullpen. I've been picking for a few days. After 100 picks, they will start showing up. It's really, really fun. Yeah, bullpen is fun. So is hockey picks, b-ball picks, and helpmarypicks.com. And folks, there's a method to my madness here. When I do these shows and I'm in the talk about the show sponsors like Bullpen Picks, Hail Mary Picks, Hockey Picks, it's a place where the community that we're trying to build here at the Raymond Report, so that way we can track, because in business it's like the mullet haircut, right? It's business on top but party in the back. So we like to be like a little bit of the mullet right here at the Raymond Report. We want to keep it business on top, but we also like to party in the back, right? So we do like to party. Maybe that didn't sound too good the way that shot out there, but you know what I'm saying, right? But I think with a site like bullpenpicks.com, hockey picks, Hail Mary, and bballpicks.com, it's a way to track winners, right? And it's about credibility. It's about reliable information, and you don't want to follow people blindly. And the thing I love about bullpenpicks.com is that in order to get followed, you have to have 100 picks in the system. So anybody who comes in at Bullpen Picks and puts in 10 picks and say goes 9-1, and then you see a record of 90%, well, that's a little bit misleading, right? Because it's only based on 10 picks. But if you are 90% out of 100 picks, and that's why every record you see on bullpenpicks.com, in order to get ranked in the standings and have a profile updated on the website, you need to have 100 picks into the system, and this is how you build credibility with the community, right? So, all right, a little rant on that. So let me get to the free horse racing pick today. As you know, we always start the show off with a free pony pick, and let's go to Gulfstream Park. All right, the bullpen has been hot. Gold and silver picks have been hitting all month. Yeah, did the gold picks win again last night? I know Musk brought that to my attention yesterday. And I wonder if did the gold pick win again yesterday? I think it was Houston, was it, or something like that? I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Let's take a quick look right here and see what we're all talking about. Hey, while I got the site online, might as well just bring it up. But the only thing is, it takes a little bit of time. That's something I got to talk to the programmer, say, hey, anyway, we can speed this up every time we hit the daily record, because it seems like we hang here forever. But you know what? We do what we do. And again, if you guys want to take a minute and share this podcast on your Twitter feed, your Facebook, I always say more the merrier, and the bigger the community, the better it is, right? All right, still waiting on that. So let me go to the horse racing pick, and I'll come back to the gold pick right there in a second. So today's free tip sheet is Gulfstream Park. So if you're a horse racing fan and you're watching baseball today and you want to just switch over between innings and races, Gulfstream Park, we have the entire tip sheet for free. Go to ATS Stats, go to horses, free tip sheet. In the pull down menu, just select Gulfstream Park. And in race number 1, it's a $23,000 maiden claiming race, $12.50 post time at the stream in Hallandale, Florida. 5.5 furlongs on the dirt. We're going to go 8-5-2 in race number 1 today at Gulfstream Park. Magic Victory. Gonzalez taking the ride here on the 8 horse, 4-1 morning line. The number 5 horse, Uncaptured Faith, with Imbecile Yaramillo taking the ride here on Uncaptured Faith, 6-1 morning line. And Broadway Bell with Christian Torres taking the ride here on Broadway Bell, the 2 horse, 6-1 morning line. If you're going to play the Joker today, you got the number 12 horse, Splicer, with Sutherland taking the ride here on Splicer. The 12 horse is 7-2 morning line. And if you're going to play an exacta today at Gulfstream Park, I'm going to recommend 8-5, 5-2, 2-12 exacta box. And if you're going to play a trifecta, I'm going to recommend 8-5-2, 12-5-2 trifecta box. And if you're going to play the Joker, I always recommend you double Dutch betting the Jokers, the betting system. And let's say you got a $20 budget, put 10 to win, 10 to place on the number 12 horse, Splicer, with Sutherland in the mount. If he comes in second, then hopefully you get some of that money back. All right, let's take a look at bullpen picks. And there was, it was Boston yesterday. So unfortunately, the gold selection lost yesterday on Boston, but it won with Atlanta and Cleveland as the silver and bronze. But again, this is a great tool if you're looking for one winner. The gold pick here. And the only downside about the gold pick, though, it's going to come with a high price tag, right? Because it's going to be a high chalk, high public favorite. Maybe look at the silver pick or even the bronze. Did the bronze win yesterday? Cleveland, yeah, Cleveland with McKenzie. Remember I said yesterday, McKenzie, I love that young pitcher out of Cleveland, and sure enough, he got us the win yesterday on our selection. As you heard, Rusty, hey, my good old security dog out there. Hey, yeah, I guess Natalie's coming back from groceries. All right, let's take a look here. Gold last night, first loss in over a week. Yeah, great tool though for sure. All right, let's go to the Raymond Report, and we did the SBI. One thing I'm gonna do today, guys, is I'm gonna throw in. So we have another feature here at ATS. You guys love the trends, right? So we do have a feature on our website in the dashboard. We have a trend on every game. So if you, like, for instance, if you go to ATS trend, you click on MLB, you'll come up to this page right here. And then if you click on view now, it gives you just, instead of all the trends on every game, just those 2 games on that one game of those 2 teams, right? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to, the weekend edition, when I do the weekend edition, I always bring up the computer picks. And then on weekdays, I do the full Raymond Report. So I'm just going to bring up the computer picks here today. And while I do the forecast on the computer pick, I'm going to go to the trends, and I'll give you the top 2 trends on that team that's playing that day for, like, say, Atlanta, and then I'll scroll down, I'll do Baltimore. So this way I'll give you the 2 top trends on both those teams. So this way, little icing on the cake type thing. And, we'll kill 2 birds, 1 stone here today. All right, let's kick it off today with the Atlanta Braves taking on the Baltimore Orioles. And also, before after the baseball, I'll recap last night's NFL, and we'll take a look at today's NFL games. So if you're an NFL fan or a CFL fan, hopefully you had the over yesterday in that Winnipeg game. That was my strongest play of the week, and hopefully you were in the winner's circle last night. All right, also, if you do have any questions or you have something you want to make a comment on, please post it in the bullpen. That's what we call our chat, and you'll find all the ramblers and gamblers, as G&G says, into the bullpen. So the Atlanta Braves taking on the Baltimore Orioles. The Braves are 153 favorite. The over-under set at 9.5. Tuki Toussaint going up against John Means of the Baltimore Orioles. Baltimore on a 17-game losing streak. The last 2 have gone under the total. Atlanta now on an 18-game win streak, and I showed you the record as a favorite in the month of August. Been pretty solid. The computer pick going to lean with Atlanta here. 8.06, 3.79. The over-under at 11.85. Now, if you're wondering, I did release a video this morning, and the morning video that I had, the way the computer picks works is every time the line gets updated, it always will reflect the latest numbers, right? So if, for instance, sometimes you're going to look at the computer picks in the morning and say, you know what, I looked at the earlier version that had Baltimore winning, now it has Atlanta. It's all based on the line movement. If the line move or the total moves, the score changes, and that's to reflect the latest line movement, right? So in case people are out there and say, hey, you're giving 2 sides to a pick, no, not. It's the computer that is just taking the latest information and giving you the latest update. Look at that. See, out of 12 previous games, and this morning, if you take a look at the computer, it could have been like 40 some previous games, right? So I just want to explain that, so this way you guys know how the things work around here. All right, so 8.06, 3.79, the over-under at 11.85. Let's take a look at the trends on Atlanta. The Braves 17-3 as a 140-160 road favorite versus NL conference opponent the last 2 years. And let me see. I always do a side or I'll find a total. The under 17. No, I don't like that one. 17-15. Who cares about that? Let me see here. The over 10-4 for the Braves as an away team, coming off a win over American League East division opponent the last 6 years, and 7-3 for Atlanta, coming off a game where they scored exactly 5 runs for this season. I always love current season trends, right? So 7-3 for the Braves when they're coming off a game on the road where they score exactly 5 runs. And for Baltimore, 12-2 to the over as a plus 140, 160 home dog, coming off a left-handed pitcher this last 2 years, and 11-4 as a home team, coming off a loss in Game 2 of a series this season. So pretty good trends right there on the Atlanta and the over in Baltimore, right? All right, so let me know what you guys think of that. If you think that's a good flow to the show where I do the computer pick and then I go right to the trend, I would love to hear your feedback. Again, this is not a dictatorship here. I want the participation and feedback from everybody into the community. And again, like I told you guys, I'm doing this right now. This is full time right here every day right now until Super Bowl. And in Super Bowl, we'll see what the appetite is for the betting public. But as long as you guys pitch in every day, I'll be here every morning. And hopefully I'll be able to share with you guys some of my good information. All right. So Detroit taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Now the Blue Jays coming off that 3-0 win yesterday against the Tigers. Still waiting on Miggy's 500 home run. Steven Mott's going up against Drew Hutchinson here today of the Tigers. And the computer pick sees a big high-scoring game here. Look at this. 10.1 to 2.5, the over-under at 12.67. So it does like it to go over the total of 10.5. You see the Jays are a really high price here today at minus 235. Again, I'm not going to lay 235 on Toronto. I do like Toronto in this spot here, but I don't think 235 is something that I would recommend right now. The last 2 games for both these teams have gone under the total. Now, perception is my line would be 162, and look what the bookmakers hanging, right? So they probably feel real strongly about the Blue Jays. And let's take a look at some of the top trends here on the Toronto-Detroit game here today. Yes, computer pick and trends is Pro 1. All right, thank you, Pro 1. I appreciate that feedback. That's all it takes. It just takes, a little comment like that to make me happy, and then I know you guys were on the same page, right? Again, I don't want to do something where I'm putting you guys to sleep and you're not getting anything out of this. That's not my mission here. My mission is to make sure that when you go to the window today and you make a bet, that you're full of confidence and that we end up in the winner's circle, right? So the over is 15-5 for the Tigers as a plus 200, 220 road underdog during a day game since 1996. So it only happened, to think of it, since 1996, the Tigers have only been in this situation 21 times. So pretty good trend right there. And the Tigers 16-8 as an away team coming off a 2-game road trip the last 5 years. So interesting little thing here. But again, now the thing with trends, right? I heard one great thing: trends won't pay the rent, right? But one thing, excuse me, one thing with the trends is you might get a trend on the over, and then you might get some on the under, right? So when I give out both these trends, over or under, it's because somebody might have a trend that they like on the under, and hopefully it helps them with confidence backing that up. The under is 5-15-1 for Detroit as an away team coming off a game where they allowed 3 runs against the last 2 years. And for the Blue Jays, the under is 10-1 as a minus 220, 240 home favorite versus American League Central Division opponent since 1996. However, look at this one here. The over 9-1-1 for the Blue Jays as a home team coming off a 3 runs win the last 2 years. And let me find another Blue Jay one here. 7-2. No, I don't want that one. I don't like. Let me go current season. 7-3. The Blue Jays are 7-3 as a home team playing on Sundays. The last this season. Yeah, so this season. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's take a look at the. All right, says thanks, Peyton. Best investment, best sports betting. I've been a change for me. Yes, you are very helpful when 2-0 and 2-4 team parlay yesterday because of you, says Josh. Awesome, Josh. I'm glad to hear that. All right, Chicago White Sox taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. You got Chris Archer making his comeback. He had an injury earlier in the season. I think it was the first game of the year, first or second game. In fact, let me go get Archer's starts. Chris Archer, as you know, first started in Tampa Bay, and then let me see here. Archer, where did Archer go before? Was it Boston? I think, did he go to Boston? Let me see here. His career, Pittsburgh. That's right. It was Pittsburgh. So now he's back at Tampa Bay, and this season, let me see here. Only pitched 2 games. The last time he pitched was April 10th against the Yankees. Only lasted 2 innings. The game before that, 2 innings. So be careful today, Chris Archer. I know he had a few rehab starts. In fact, the Rays reinstated Archer, 60-day DL. Doesn't hedge for a 40-man roster, 26, who was activated as rehab. He went 4.2 innings last start, AAA in Durham on Tuesday. So he went 4 2/3 on Tuesday. So this is good to know that he did win a few innings. Now -120 is the number. The over/under set at 9. Forecast going to lean with the White Sox here. 4.3 to 3.8. The over/under at 8.26. The last 2 games between these 2 teams, I've gone over the total. And let's take a look at some of the stats and trends on this game here today. The White Sox 9-3 as an away team, coming off a 2-game road trip the last 3 years. The under is 3-9-0 for the White Sox as they pick them to 120. Road underdog, coming off a game where they scored only 4 runs for the last 7 years. And the over 12-5 for the White Sox as an away team versus left-handed pitchers this season. Now, this is a good trend right here for the White Sox this season. 12-5 to the over versus southpaws this season. And Chris Archer is a southpaw. Tampa Bay 11-2 as a 120-140 home favorite when the total's between 8.5 and 9.5 the last 2 years. And when they're coming off a win the last 2 years, they are 14-3. Let's see if I can find a current season trend on the total, maybe. Any current season trend on the total for Tampa Bay? And I don't see anything down here. Let me just scroll right down. Man, we got almost 100 trends here. 90 trends on Tampa Bay, but I don't see anything on the over. Let me see here. Any over trends? 10-10, 4-6. Nope, nothing really to write home about. So, here we go. The over 7-3 for the Rays as a 120-140 home favorite after a conference game the last 2 seasons. All right, but I do like that trend on the Sox, 12-5 or southpaws on the road this season. All right, let's get to the next game, and the next game will be Miami against Cincinnati. You have Sandy Alcantara going up against Vladimir Gutierrez today of the Cincinnati Reds. -137 is the price. The over/under set at 9. Forecast going to lean with an upset here. Miami Marlins 5.2 to 4.3. The over/under at 9.63. Now you got Miami's top ace going here today against Gutierrez, who's been hit and miss in his last few outings. In fact, let me take a look at Gutierrez. 8-4 in the year, 3.87 ERA, and coming off a loss in his last start, he went 6 1/3, 9 hits, 2 runs, 7 Ks. But prior to that, he had 4 straight decisions. So just unfortunate for him, his last start on August 17th. Didn't have a really good outing. And he's up against Sandy Alcantara today of the Miami Marlins. 7-11, 3.39 ERA. Now he's playing on a bad team. But the one thing with Alcantara, hopefully he gives you the same type of innings he did against Atlanta in his last starts. 5 hits, 1 run, and 7 Ks. Only walked 1 batter, so pretty good outing for Sandy Alcantara in his last outing. Let's take a look at some of the stats here for Miami. The under 10-4 for the Marlins, a 120-140 road underdog against Central Division opponents. And for Cincinnati, they are 19-6 as a 120-140 home favorite, coming off a game that went over the total the last 5 years. So pretty good trend right there. Now the game between Texas and Boston has been rained out because of the weather conditions in New York and the East Coast. And let's take a look at Seattle taking on the Houston Astros. And again, if you do have a pick, guys, if you do like something, just share it into the chat in the bullpen. And Nick Cobb says he took the Reds minus 1.5. You know what? Be careful on that one. I do like Alcantara. Even though they're on a 6-game losing streak, you're getting one of their top pitchers. And Cincinnati, even though they're coming off a 7-4 win last night, this could be a weak spot. I see it looks like a one-run game to me. I think this is a one-run game. Could go either way. It could go either way. Seattle taking on the Houston Astros. Now the Astros, man, they came out slugging last night. 15-1 final. Framber Valdez going up against Tyler Anderson of the Mariners. Seattle now on a 2-game losing streak. Their last 3 have gone over the total. We do like the Mariners on the computer pick on 22 previous game. Minus 106 was my number for Seattle, and minus 181. And again, we're right there at fair market value on the Stros. But we do have Seattle with Tyler Anderson, 4.6 to 3.8. The over-under at 8.52. The under is, losing my voice here, 15-3 for the Mariners as an away team coming off a 5-game road trip the last 5 years. And for the Houston Astros, 29-7 as a home team playing the month of August the last 2 years. So, and you know what? With a veteran team like the Houston Astros, man, they're like a fine wine right now. They're getting better with time, right? So if you do like Houston today, 185, a little bit expensive, but it seems like Houston's got their A game going right now. All right, let's take a look at the next game between Washington and Milwaukee. You got the Nationals coming off a 9-6 loss last night to the Brew Crew. Minus 210 is the number here on Milwaukee. Over-under set at 9. Sean Nolan going up against Adrian Hauser. Now, when Hauser goes for the Brewers, they're 13-6. But look at this, 13-5-1 to the over. And we do like the Brew Crew here. 4.8 to 4.5. The over-under at 9.42. Minus 217 was my line. Minus 210. So, again, these top teams right now, they're going to be overvalued, right? But let's take a look at the trends here on Washington. The under is 10-2-1 for the Nationals as an away team coming off a 2-game road trip the last 5 years, and 10-3 to the under as an away team coming off a loss in Game 2 of a series this season. That's a pretty good one right there to the under. And for the Milwaukee Brewers, let's take a look at some of their numbers here. I always like to go with the current season trends, right? And let me see if I can find some value here on a current season trend on the Brew Crew. All right, let me take a look down here. Here's one. The Brewers 10-5 as a home team coming off a game that went over the total this season. So pretty good trend on the Brew Crew right there. All right, let's take a look at the next game. And the next game is going to be between Pittsburgh and the St. Louis Cardinals. Pittsburgh and the Cardinals. So let me take a look at some of your chat that you guys are saying. So Chaz says I'm taking the under. I guess Chaz is taking the under in the Miami game. Is that it, Chaz? And Nick Cobb likes the over in the Houston game. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give that one really some good look because Houston, how many runs have they scored now in the last 2 games? Wasn't it double digits on Friday night too? Framber Valdez up against Tyler Anderson. The only thing that worries me though, Nick Cobb, is that the Kogo, the percentage play is only at 24% chance of going over the total. Ryan McGee, never mind. Miami plus 1.5 is at minus 176. LOL. You picked the CFL game night right last night in your CFL video. Toronto game went over. Saskatchewan Roughrider beat the spread, and the game stayed under. 3 great picks. Thank you, Peyton Sports Girl. Yep, CFL is where I hang my hat. CFL. Anybody who's followed me in the CFL since 1996 knows that's I'm Canadian. I'm from Ottawa. I grew up on the CFL. So I know a couple of things about CFL football. That's for sure. Isaiah, Brewers game went over. Yes, Miami game, says Chaz. Right on, buddy. I like Framber Valdez as plant-based junkie. How you doing, plant-based? Haven't seen plant-based in a while. Miami sneaky dog. Yeah, you know what? With Sandy Alcantara going today, could be a value play, right? Could be a value play on Miami. And if you look at Cincinnati, I have to take a look at their last few games. I know they didn't. I'll take a look at that in just a second. All right, let's take a look at Pittsburgh taking on the Cardinals. Minus 210 is the price here on St. Louis. Over/under is set at 8.5. Now the Bucks have won their last 2 games here against St. Louis. there's some things you really can't make this stuff up, right? And you don't really have an answer for. How does St. Louis have an emotional series against Milwaukee prior to this one? They beat them 8-4 in that third game of the series, and then they play Pittsburgh, and now they're playing down to their opponent, right? Another loss last night for the Cardinals, and when you look at the Cardinals in the standings, let's take a look at their rankings right now in the National Central the division. They are 12 games behind Milwaukee. Cincinnati, 7.5 games. And what about the wild card here? Let's take a look at the wild card race in the National League. 4.5 games behind Cincinnati. So, you know what? Cincinnati, St. Louis, San Diego, Phillies, man, a tough loss for the Phillies. We'll get to that in just 1 second. But this you got to start winning your games in September for sure. But when it's what did Yogi Berra used to say? It's getting late early. Well, it's getting late early, or it's getting early late for the St. Louis Cardinals, right? They got to start winning their games. And the good news is they're going to send Adam Wainwright to the hill today against Stephen Breaux for the Bucks. And looking at my line on the game, I had Pittsburgh at plus 189. And what's the line here? About 195. And I see St. Louis, I have them at 135, and they're 210. 58% chance of winning today. Maybe this might be a nice spot, but again, too expensive. 210. I wouldn't recommend laying 210. The under is 12-1 for the Pirates as a plus 180, 200 road dog, coming off a game where they scored exactly 5 runs for since 1996. So if you do like the Bucks, that's a nice little trend right there. And let me try to find something good right here. Coming off a loss, the Cardinals 14-4, minus 200 to 220, home favorite, coming off a loss the last 6 years. And let me see if I can find a current trend here this season on the St. Louis. So here's one. Look at this, 17-10. It's not a great one, but it's still a trend, right? Cardinals 17-10 as a home team after a conference game this season. Let me do Control F. Current. So let me see. There's not many current trends here, but I got a really good trend on Colorado that I can't wait to show you guys today. Yeah, only one trend current season for the St. Louis Cardinals here today. And again, tread lightly on the Cards, right? Pittsburgh, can really Pittsburgh get the sweep here today in Busch Stadium? We'll see. All right, let's take a look at the next game. Kansas City against Chicago. And let me take a look at some of your comments right now. So there's the Royals taking on the Cubs. And let me go back here, go back to trends, and always like to line up the next trend, so this way we don't keep you waiting. So yeah, we're going to talk about Kansas City against Chicago. All right, so we got some new blood here. I like that, Mr. Mr. Espud, Marlins first 5, 135 maybe. Hey, why not? Hey, with Alcantara going, that's their best one. I took the under Astros yesterday, and they scored 12 runs. Yeah, no kidding, eh? That's crazy. Not touching Pittsburgh, says Nick Kopp. Zachary Reed, 54 64 opposing starting pitchers have 5 Ks or less at Coors Field. Free money at this point, and Vegas still hasn't adjusted. That's a great stat there, Zach. Thanks for sharing that. Mr. Espud says Marlins plus a half line, run line. Isaiah Moore, Cards need opponents to motivate them. Yeah, no kidding, right? That's a good point. Sometimes when you're just, somebody, like I said last week, remember, I was listening to a baseball game, and I was listening to the Arizona Diamondbacks announcer, or I think it was San Diego, I can't remember. But they said, if you're Arizona, what do you have to play for at home, right? Between family and friends, and you're not playing for nothing, there's not a lot of people. But when you go on the road to a team where they're playing for the pennant race, and there's 50,000 stands, those teams get up for that, right? So there's some value to what you're saying there, Isaiah. Ron, can we not talk about my Phillies? Brutal, says Ryan McGee. Unfortunately, Ryan, this is not Monopoly. We don't pass go. We got to talk about those Phillies today, because I'm a little upset with the Phillies too, because they were my underdog special yesterday. And watching that game late, they were what, 4-1? Weren't they up 4-1 or something like that? And then the debacle happened, right? Unfortunate, though. It's unfortunate. Phillies had the entire time until the end. Sad game for them. It was cool to watch the brothers play against each other, says Peyton Sports Girl. And I love the Phillies today, says Plant-Based Junkie. All right, let's take a look at the Royals taking on the Cubbies at Wrigley. Man, I don't know about you guys. I'm not too crazy about those Wrigleyville uniforms that Chicago has, right? I'm a traditionalist. Anytime I see these third jerseys. Like if the Montreal Canadiens ever, toyed with their, imagine if the New York Yankees had a third jersey. I think the people in New York, the Yankee loyalists and faithful would just absolutely go nuts. I'm a traditionalist. I don't think you should mess with uniforms because people who have given everything they had to those teams, fans, players, they don't know. Like say people have passed away, they have no clue, right? And they, and to me, you got to respect the past. And to me, you don't touch uniforms. That's one of my things in sports. It really upsets me when I see third jerseys and stuff like this. Is don't disrespect the past and leave things as they are. Right? That's just my 2 cents. I'm really big on that, and I love uniforms. And it's when you've grown up on sports, how many times have we said, hey, who has the best logo? Who has the best uniform? Right? Those are all things that when bring back to your childhood and all that you don't mess with. Kansas City taking on the Chicago Cubs. Minus 108 here is the price tag. I don't know what the latest here. I have to check at Bookmaker. I thought I saw the number go up and down here a bit on the Cubs. I think the Cubs opened up a favorite. Now they're maybe an underdog. Let me take a look here at Bookmaker. And let's see. Cubbies. Let's see what the Cubbies are right now. Minus 107. Yeah. So the Cubbies are a favorite right now. And the over-under here is set at 8. ATS forecast, computer pick. Gonna lean with the, look at this, 3.69 for Kansas City, 3.68 based on 41 games in the system. Alex Mills against Carlos Hernandez. The last 2 games have gone under for Kansas City, but the last 4 have gone under for the Cubbies. And let's take a look at some of the stats and trends. And let's see here. The under is 2-7-1 for the Royals as an away team, coming off 2 unders this season. I love that trend right there. And the under 12-2-0 for the Cubs as they pick them the minus 120 home chalk, coming off an American Conference opponent the last 10 years. So pretty good trend right there on the under. And I'm not too sure yet if I like the Cubs or not. All right, let's see what people are saying right now. Just Ron giving away gems, eh? Giving away gems and pearls. My good friend Greg Dempson, used to say it all the time. Give them pearls, Ronnie. That's all they want. They want pearls. Jermaine Brown, St. Louis has least bats better for lefties. So Jermaine says St. Louis, at least bats are better versus lefties. Okay, that's, you know what? I'm going to have to check that out, Jermaine. Thank you. OG double, overkill my people. What? Overkill my parlay. Okay. That was it. What? Killed you? Overkilled PL. I'm still texting my nieces on the short abbreviations of the, BRB, or, sometimes you see in Instagram or Twitter, these 2-word, supposed to mean something. So I got to go to my source, and that's my nieces. What does this mean? All right. Like the Sens jersey last year, they should keep it the way. Yeah, you know what? Ottawa Sens jerseys are nice. I like this one here. Again, here's an organization toying around with too many jerseys. I feel that they are honoring the older teams by bringing them out. Yeah, you know what? That's a good, I don't mind that. I don't mind. So Chaz says, I feel they are honoring the older teams by bringing them out. Now, if that's a jersey they had in the past and they bring it, then I'm cool with that too. It's like Tampa Bay Rays, right? Tampa Bay brings out yesterday on Saturdays they have the old Devil Rays. I'm cool with that. It's when they bring out these third jerseys that just like what are you doing? Oakland gave it up in the 9th. Yeah, that was a bad one. I was riding the Red Sox over, very unexpected for it to hit last night. Yeah, I had the over last night in Texas and Boston. Flip a coin on KC and the Cubs, says Nick Kopp. LA Dodgers under 5 out of 5, says OG Double. I agree. Don't mess with the uniform, says Peyton Sports Girl. The All-Star uniform was a nightmare. Yeah. Oregon has so many. Yeah, the Ducks. Yeah. And then there's the Ducks. Hey, then there's the Oregon Ducks. Hey, Chip Kelly's, Chip Kelly, and, I'm glad we're talking about the Ducks because, college football is going to start next week, and we're going to have some games to talk about. But when you look at some of these college football coaches, do you agree with me on this one? Like, anytime I hear the name Chip Kelly, I'm saying, why did you leave Oregon? You could have been, the legend at Oregon. When you think of Florida State, you think of Bobby Bowden, right? God rest his soul. When you think of and now you look at Alabama and Nick Saban, you think of all these traditional schools with these coaches. I think Chip Kelly, if he would have stayed at Oregon, could have been up there in some of the big names in history. The way he took that program, and you remember Oregon when they first started, Chip Kelly was the first one to introduce the play it fast model, right? In fact, I bought his book. I'm a football coach, and when he first came out, I'll bring out that book tomorrow. He brought out that book, and I got a lot of great tips out of that book. But when Chip Kelly came out with the Oregon Ducks and no huddle offense, and they used to play fast, man, hey, let's get to some college football. Right? I thought, through the Oregon post there threw me off. Now I forgot what team we're talking about here. All right, Chicago Cubs, and I think we did the stats, right? All right, so we'll go to Colorado. Arizona taking on the Colorado Rockies. Chip Kelly from college god to NFL flunky, says Nick Kopp. Yeah, you know what? Some of these college football coaches, they're just they're I call it the act. Their act doesn't work in the pros, right? In the pros, it's tough to coach players that make more than you. From that respect, from a hierarchy, like I'm a military guy. I spent my some years in the military, and there's a football to me is just like the military. There's when anytime you're dealing with a mass amount of people in a team, especially in college football, there's 100 people. There has to be discipline. There has to be order, and everybody knows their role and everything, right? It's the same in the military, but in college football, sometimes your act won't work in the NFL. And it's going to be interesting to see if Urban Meyers, who I think is a pretty sharp dude, is how his act is going to work in the NFL, right? All right, Arizona taking on the Rockies. 145 is the price tag. The over-under set 11.5. Taylor Widener up against John Gray. And I'm going to show you guys something, and I'm going to bring it up here. I'm going to go in my database. I got a system that is 17-0 on the on Colorado here today. So let me go to my faithful database. Let me go to Major League Baseball, and check this out. Anytime you have a home favorite coming off a 3-run win in their last game, current season, and they're facing an opponent that has a 31 to 40% win percentage. All right, let's go down here. Check this out. 17-0. 17-0 this season, and I love current season trends. Now, let me repeat that. Home favorites coming off a 3-run win, and Colorado won 5-2 yesterday. This season versus an opponent with a 31 to 50% win percentage, 17-0, 10-7 to the over. So if you do like this game here today, guys, it's a little bit expensive, but I was able early enough to get a decent line on it. But that's, hey, you know what? It's tough to go against 17-0, right? All right. Yes, it is. I can't, says Chaz. Chip Kelly was college god. Nick Saban did do better in the NFL. Exactly. That's exactly my point, right, Nick? So Chaz says Nick Saban didn't do better in the NFL. And this is, that's why some coaches, it's like in hockey, right? I live in Ottawa. And if you're a hockey fan and you're a junior hockey fan, Brian Kilray, one of the most winningest coaches in junior hockey history, might be the winningest. He was our top dog, right? The top hockey junior coach in the country ever. And he went to the Islanders and the NHL, and he just got lost in the shuffle, comes back to, a couple years later, and they started winning again, right? And that's what I mean. Sometimes when you're a junior or a college football coach, you're also a mentor, you're also a father figure, and you're grooming kids to, let me see here. All right, you're grooming kids for, their next career, right? And that's what I feel some of these coaches are. All right, let's talk about Arizona and Colorado. Again, what a great system. And let's take a look at the trends in this one. 13-2 for Arizona as a 160, 180 road underdog coming off and under the last 10 years. So the under looks pretty good for Arizona in that situation. And Colorado, 10-1 as a home team in the month of August this season. So again, I don't think you can beat that 17-0 system, and I don't think those trends will do any justice. All right, block your ears there. Who was it, Chaz or Plant Base? Who was it that had the Phillies yesterday and broke their heart? Hey, let's take a look at this here. Phillies taking on the Padres. Now, Greg Steinman going up against Kyle Gibson of the Philadelphia Phillies. And let's take a look. The last 2 games I've gone under the total. And I'm just going to shut my phone here. I thought I did shut it off here. Sorry about this, folks. I'm just going to turn it. Oh, it must have been. There we go. All right. So Kyle Gibson up against Greg Strawman. 3-0 for the Padres. Last 5 games I've gone under the total. And let me see here. Let's take a look at the forecast. 4.85, 4.1. The over-under at 9.03. And let's take a look at the trends for the Phillies and the San Diego Padres. My line on the game, I had 155 for San Diego. I had 101 for the Phillies, right? So, fair market value if you like the Padres. I think you might be getting some good value on the Phillies. The over-under is 7.5. That's an interesting total right there, 7.5. Let me take out the pitching stats for Stallman right here. Kyle Gibson 8-5 on the year, 3.18 ERA, and last game he won 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs against Arizona. Hasn't had a victory since August 6th against the Mets, and I don't have any numbers here on Stallman, so it must have been a late addition right here. All right, let me go to San Diego, and Chip Kelly for College God. We already said that. Blue Jays will hit first 5, says OG Double. What do you think of the Twins game? Minnesota Twins. Have we talked about that already? I think we're getting to that, right? I had Phillies yesterday. I'm willing to take another shot on them today. All right, so the under is 18-4 for the Phillies as a 120 road underdog during a day game the last 4 years. Man, 7.5 seems like a low number. And the Padres 11-1 to the under as a 140-160 home favorite coming off a win in Game 2 of a series the last 6 years. That is a pretty decent trend right there. Again, I prefer systems over trends, but this is a entertainment show, so why not entertain you with some trends, right? So Padres 11-1 as a 140-160 home favorite coming off a win in Game 2 of a series the last 6 seasons. So the under seems to get some love here on the trends are your friends, right? Let's take a look at San Fran against Oakland. In fact, let me go to my ATS calculator. So let me go ATS calculator, and if again with college football, NFL coming, if you don't have a membership at ATS calculator, it's separate from ATS stats. It's really good when it comes to football. All right, let me go to Philadelphia against the San Diego Padres, and let's see what the total says here. And it likes 8.68, and the home team to win by 0.88. So I was hoping to be a little bit lower. All right, San Fran taking on the Oakland A's. Frankie Montas up against Logan Webb. And looking at the line on this game, I had minus 131. I had Oakland yesterday as my 5-star best bet. Another heartbreaker, right? And the thing is, and I talk about this all the time, when you bet on good teams, hopefully good things would happen. But the only bad news yesterday, we were facing another good team in San Francisco, and it's just teams like San Francisco, the Tampa Bays, the New York Yankees right now are hot. The Dodgers. Those type of teams, those are the only type of teams that really will do those kind of situations, right? Had this been against, say, the Mets or say, Toronto, Oakland probably wins 9 out of 10 times, right? But again, San Fran just comes in, two run homer in the top of the 9th, and that was all she wrote right there. All right, so looking at the computer pick, 3.8 for Oakland, 2.9 for the San Francisco Giants, 6.88. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a good game. The first pitch, 4:07. And you know what? There's an NFL game, Giants and the Browns. Maybe I'll watch this one after that one. All right, the under 13-1 for the Giants as a pick in the 120 road underdog, coming off a 1-run win the last 7 years. Wow. So the under 13-1 for the San Francisco Giants as a pick in the 120 road underdog, coming off a 1-run win the last 7 years. And for the Oakland A's, 24-6 as a home team playing the month of August the last 2 years. And if you followed Moneyball, say the last 7-10 years, you know Oakland is like a good wine, right? They get stronger with time. And Oakland's playing some, unfortunately they went through a little bit of hiccup on that road trip, but hopefully they can get it done here today. All right, let's take a look at the next game. I know somebody asked me about Minnesota. Did I miss Minnesota, or do I got them coming up next? How come I don't have the Minnesota? Did I already do the Minnesota game for you guys? Cincinnati. I'm missing the Minnesota game here, right? All right, I'll handicap that in just a second. Maybe I don't see it here. Are Minnesota playing? Oh, no, Minnesota, isn't there a rain? Yeah, rain delay. Yeah, somebody asked me about Minnesota. There's a rain postponed game in New York. That's why. All right, let's go to the Mets taking on the Dodgers. Marcus Stroman up against David Price. Mets on a 3-game losing streak right now. The last 5 have gone under. LA Dodgers, just like the Yankees, on a 9-game win streak. Dodgers are hot. Minus 175 is the line. That's a big line. Perception versus reality. This should be the line in my view. Minus 153, plus 150 for the Mets. And right now the Mets are what right now? They are plus 181. And if you go to Bookmaker, you can get the New York Mets right now at plus 158. So, I think you're getting good value here on the New York Mets. But you're running into a buzzsaw on the LA Dodgers right now. But, every team has their ups and downs. But the one thing with streaks, I don't mess with streaks. The last 5 games for the Mets have gone under. I got the Dodgers winning today, 5.4 to 3.8. The over-under at 9.32. How are we doing for time? 50 minutes, not bad. All right, let's take a look at the trends on this game here. And let me see some of what you guys are saying. What do you think? The Twins are postponed today. Total is 9, Ron. Thanks, Eric. I was thinking unders Padres. Yeah, you know what? Some good trends right there. I see 9. Game 3, Ron. I think New York Mets are a good underdog. I might go Mets plus 1.5, says John X. You know what? That's a good one, John. I think the Mets plus 1.5 might be worth, but you're going to probably lay a lot of money, though. What's the line on the Mets? Minus 1.5. You're going to lay minus 123, which is not bad. You're getting the Mets at plus 1.5, minus 123. That's pretty decent. That is pretty. My line is at 9.2, says Peyton Sports Girl. It was 7.5. The under is 11-3 for the Mets as an away team, coming off a 6-game road trip the last 5 years. And let me see for the LA Dodgers, 11-1 as a 180 to 200 home favorite, playing the month of August the last 6 years. And this season, the Dodgers 9-2 in the month of August. And let me see if there's anything else. Yep, some good ones right there. The under, anything for the Mets? It seems like every Mets game's going under, right? Percentage play, though, be careful on that percentage play. The Kogo today is at 77%. So if you're new to the Raymond Report, Kogo stands for chance of game going over the total, and Cal stands for chance of game winning. So in the Raymond Report, I always talk about value and the percentage play, and the way I calculate the percentage play in the side is the chances of winning. And for the total is the Kogo, the chance of this game going over the total. Again, you got to factor in the percentage play because what goes up must come down. Just like the stock market, stocks don't always go up. Sometimes they'll come down. And, you got to, what's the old saying in the stock market? You buy low, sell high. You just got to find out just consider each team like an asset. And is that asset at, high public confidence at that point today for August 22nd? Or is that asset in a low confidence? And you know what comes with low confidence? High value, right? All right, LA Angels taking on the Cleveland Indians. Now the Tribe, a 130 favorite. They're going to send Cal Quantrill here tonight against Jose Suarez. And, man, it's good. Nice to see an ESPN Sunday night game of the week. Doesn't involve the Yankees or the Red Sox, right? No, nothing against the Red Sox and Yankees, but, it's like, throwing a steak with that salad sometimes, man. Hey, you're going to keep us always on the Yankees and the Red Sox on Sunday night baseball. Chance of winning, though, does go to the Angels today at 59%, 42% for the Tribe. We're coming off a 5-1 win yesterday against the Angels. Now, the Angels, remember that big heroic comeback? It was a Thursday against Detroit. They were down 10-2. They came back to win 13-10. And again, you don't remember the games you win, just the ones you lose, right? And that one's going to stick with me for a long time. Thanks, Detroit. Cal Quantrill, 5-9 when he starts for the Tribe. And when Jose Suarez goes for the Angels, they're 1-5 in his starts. Let's take a look at some of the trends on this game here tonight. And I'll do a ATS calculator. Let's go to ATS calculator. And I did it earlier in the show. I think I did it on my other video too. LA Angels against the Cleveland Indians. Where are you? There you are. And I think we have Cleveland winning 1.23. 9.55 is the total on the calculator. And LA Angels 11-3 as a 120 road underdog versus non-division opponent the last 2 years. That's a pretty solid stat right there. When you consider underdogs, right? Underdogs win 40% of their games in baseball. If you watch my tip video, I did a when to bet dogs in baseball, and underdogs win about 40% of the time in baseball. So this is a pretty good one. 11-3 for the Dogs for the Angels as a road underdog versus non-division opponents the last 2 years. But here's the bad news. The Tribe are 9-2 as a 120-140 home favorite playing the month of August the last 6 years. Wow. Man, that's there's Corner Gas. Corner Gas in the house. Yeah, he just woke up from his little parade beating our Ottawa Red Blacks. How do you feel about beating a team with no offense, Chad? This Ottawa Red Blacks offense is it's awful. I can probably take I can probably take, say, Boston College, and they probably have a better offense than the Ottawa Red Blacks right now. We got no quarterback. We have no running back. I couldn't even name you the name of our running back because we got none. Ottawa Red Blacks are a mess right now. But yeah, this is a baseball segment. But I saw Chad there, and I know Chad's he's from Saskatchewan. He's a Green Rider. He's a Riderville, right, Chad? All right, laugh my out. You should put a few bucks on it. Says Chaz. I won 11 out of 15 last night, but didn't bet. You're a typical corner guy. Yeah, typical. Hey, don't you love those guys who come on chat room and they tell you they went 10-0, but they didn't bet? Why would you even tell us that? You could have, he could have been like a legend. Everybody would have been thinking about Chad's picks today. But a win's a win, says Chad. That's awesome. All right, let's take a look at the two NFL games going today. I went 1-1 yesterday. Remember I said I was going to take Miami, and I took Minnesota on the money line. Minnesota, man. Kellen Mond. I just, maybe looking back, hindsight 2020, should have just bet the first half. But wow, it's a rookie, right? A rookie, and but Minnesota. I know Zimmer never lost back-to-back preseason games, so I got a feeling this might be a long year for the Vikings. Might be a long year for the Vikings. All right, the G-Men, the Giants, taking on the Cleveland Browns. Now the Browns, a 5.5-point home favorite here today. The over-under set at 35. And looking at the money line, minus 227. And San Francisco taking on the LA Chargers. San Fran, minus 6.5. And the over-under is at 34. Now looking at the quarterback rotation. And you know what, folks? Anytime you're doing these preseason games, there's a lot of things that you have to consider, right? It's not the same type of handicapping when you're doing regular season games. So this, you got to go with, like, for example, you look at last night's results, right? Baltimore, teams that have a good tradition of winning the last 10 years, good head coaches, good quarterback rotations. Those are things you got to consider, right? So when you look at the game here today, you got Joe Judge, going against was it Stefanski for the Cleveland Browns, and who's the starting quarterback? I don't know. Is Baker Mayfield going to see any reps here today? I don't know if he's going to get any reps, but looking at the Browns, their quarterback rotation, you're going to see, I don't know if Mayfield, Case Keenum, Kyle Lauletta, and then for the, let me see here, the Giants, let me see, the New York Giants, we'll see the rotation. I don't know if Daniel Jones is going to go. Mike Glennon and Clayton Thorson is the rotation probably for the today. You know what? I do like Cleveland. But the Giants got embarrassed against the Jets last week. It's preseason. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go crazy. Probably an opinion on Cleveland and an opinion on the Chargers in San Francisco. Now, looking at the Chargers, Justin Herbert, Chase Daniels, Easton Stick, and then for the San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy G, Garoppolo, Trey Lance. I think didn't Rosen get released from the 49ers, and Nate Sudfeld, right? Looking at the quarterbacks, the coaching. Let me see, Shanahan. Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to touch that game. If I do have one opinion today, it'd probably be the Cleveland Browns. But again, I'm not crazy about laying 5.5, but it just gives me my opinion. What can I say? It's preseason football, right? It's like putting lipstick on a pig right now, trying to make it look good, but it is what it is. So there you go. There's the show today in a nutshell. And let me see how we do for time right here. 58 minutes, not bad. Again, folks, don't forget, sign up for the World Series of Handicapping Pro Football Contest Season number 10. And it's $25 to enter. And also, if you're interested in the membership at atsstats.com, we're running a promo right now. A 1-month membership is $24.99, but if you use promo code FB21, that's F as in Foxtrot, B as in Bravo 21, get 20% off, and $19.99. Pretty good deal right before football season, and hopefully you guys will sign up. And when you sign up, you get guaranteed every day for all my picks, for all sports, you get my 5-star best bet, my 4-star over-under play of the day, my 2-star upset special dog of the day, 2-team parlay, and the system play of the day. And that's all with a membership right here at atsstats.com. All right, I want to thank everybody in the bullpen today for chiming in. It was a quiet Sunday, right? Hey, it's the storm, the quiet before the storm, before next week's college football, and then week 3 of NFL preseason, and then it's go time. Hey, it's go time with the NFL. And hopefully we'll can't wait to start talking some college football, NFL, and we'll keep doing baseball. We'll keep doing baseball, and then NBA, and then hockey. But don't forget, go to bullpenpicks.com, put in your picks for today. In fact, I was going to put in my picks right now, but I'm still on the fence on some games, so I'm not going to put them in. I don't going to force any plays. But if you want to see my plays later, in about another 20 minutes, I'll be putting in my picks. I'll be putting in my picks in about 20 minutes. Again, there's just a couple of games I want to handicap, and I don't want to force it on air. So give me about 20 minutes, and then go to Bullpen, and I will put in the picks. All right, folks, have yourself a great Sunday, and we'll see you back here on